Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic:
what are some dark secrets about the porn industry? I worked for a porn company in an operations role at the office. The amount of stuff I learned while I was there is shocking. My big one is how many times one of the talent deviates from the plan. Most shoots are pretty well organized and there's a defined plan. The company wants a feature with these activities and you need to get these shots. It's not uncommon for the less professional talent to decide to do something that wasn't on the plan, and it's usually the male talent. I remember one instance where the guy decided this was now a fisting video. The girl did not consent to that, and that was not part of the order from the company. No one knew that was coming. From what I understand, that guy will never work with that company again because of it, and it became a whole legal firestorm. Holy fuck, he decided to fist her. What a jerk off. Yeah, I believe she was relatively new to the industry, too. This is incredibly common, and I think this one really only had any action against it because it was such an extreme act. There are lots of stories of surprise anal or bondage that weren't agreed upon. As terrible as a story that is, I can't but help imagine what it is like to be in a corporate office of a porn company. Like there are actual businessmen and women in a conference room meeting discussing the profit analytics of certain videos and sexual acts in them. Yes, Terry, it seems our reverse cowgirl filmed from under so you can see more of the penetration seems to be a hit based on these profit charts. Let's follow that up with some more titty bouncing in this lighting, but we can solution that when we circle back from the holidays. Quote, just imagine the meeting where they have to discuss the rise of step porn. Imagine the code of conduct training. If a coworker is blowing you, is it okay to ask them out on a date? I used to live with a woman in Seattle who did webcam porn. Her cubicle was designed to look like a bedroom. Their office had about 50 of these in it. The place was in a nice, quiet neighborhood, and it was above a children's indoor football school. I know it's not very dark, but it's all I've got. That sounds like something that would be an urban legend among the kids in the football school. The tinfoil hat stoner kid was right all along. Friend of a friend once worked for Evil Angel as a photographer and image processor. She was all super sex positive and thought it would be a cool job to flex her photography and editing skills while doing positive work in the sex industry. She quit after about 2 months of doing it because she couldn't stand the hours and hours of photoshopping out herpes sores, tears, and blood, and having to do face swaps to make the performers look like they were enjoying it instead of dead behind the eyes. That is horrible, something I never considered. Edit here I think of retouching, never thought about that being done. Makes sense that you don't want to see ingrown hair in 4K. I love they always claim they get tested every 1 to 2 weeks, so it's a super clean industry, but in reality, they're all just trying to stay away from HIV and maybe hepatitis, because they literally all have herpes, HPV. The other issue with the porn industry is what it's doing to men, who are addicted to it, many to a dysfunctional degree. Drug aspects of the industry, both as a tool of exploitation of performers but also a method for performers to do the extreme scenes and feel nothing, physically and emotionally. I read about Cagney Lynn Carter, porn star who blew her head off with a shotgun last year, and people were saying how she seemed totally out of it in some of her last scenes, just blank stares and no emotions with sad eyes. Yeah, admittedly when I used to watch porn more frequently she was just starting out in the business and I was a fan. Saw some of her last stuff and they weren't exactly hiding that she was pretty messed up. I think her character was typically very plastered stepmom. Not surprised a lot of people didn't know she died, I only knew because she was a bit of a local. Also see Dakota Sky, who died in the back of some stranger's RV on Skid Row. It was pretty sad and I felt bad for her husband. I'm a sex worker and drugs are the only thing that allows me to get through it. I literally can't do my job without them. It's debilitating and awful. Edit BC. A lot of you are asking the same questions, so let me clear some stuff up. Yes, I started doing drugs before I started SW, and yes I use some of my SW money to pay for more drugs. I'm aware it's a vicious cycle. No, not all of the money I make gets spent on drugs. Y'all girl needs groceries and to pay rent just like everyone else. A lot of you are saying I'm greedy BC. I'm proud of how much I make. Would you say the same to someone who designs weapons for a living? Or to a CEO who does no work and gets all the pay? Love, please stay safe and reduce the consumption and look for other opportunities soon. Best wishes ABD. Happy holidays. Once at a bachelor party we went to a gentleman's club and one of the entertainers mentioned that she did a few scenes. We asked her about it and how she got started and she told us how, essentially, when she was like 15 or 16, producer found her on Instagram and just chatted his her about opportunities he had for models and thought she was perfect for, but her parents wouldn't let her go. Then when she was 18 he flew her out to Miami and put her up in a cool house with other girls he was representing and basically they had to pay him rent. And she didn't book any modeling gigs so she was coming up short month after month. So the guy told her he could send her in some adult shoots to make money and pay him back. Basically, she explained to us that she had been groomed as a teenager to run away and coerced into doing porn, dancing, escorting. She didn't even realize it as she was explaining it to us. That's how grooming works. If the person you're grooming realizes it, you can't groom them anymore. It's awful. Edit, I forgot Reddit believes the worst in people and I did phrase that poorly. Thus, to clarify, grooming is absolutely awful, especially in this context, and I hope that those people who realize they were being groomed got out before it was too late, and anyone who is maybe in this sort of situation, please get out. This is not far off what Andrew Tate was doing, except he was booking flights for them from Eastern Europe and having them decam work. He wasn't letting them leave the house alone or order their own clothes or food. It's straight up trafficking at that point. It's not a total secret, but lots of guys wreck their dicks maintaining erections for hours. I have once had sex with one of those guys. He needed a Trimex injection into his dick and then aggressive wanking staring at violent porn full volume to get hard. He was in a room with two scantily clad women he was about to fuck. He still needed porn to get hard. He was rock hard for 2 hours, came twice and didn't get soft after. He needed another injection, phenylephrine, I think, to get soft. After injecting his dick he was squeezing it while doing bodyweight squats to force blood back into his main body. He's not the only one. Guys spend so much erect it damages vascular structure and neural pathways. Great dick, great fuck, horrible person, sad situation. This is probably how Bane fucks. You think the porn is your ally. You merely adopted the porn. I was born in it, molded by it. No one cared who I was until I started injecting my hog. I'm struggling to figure out which is more intense, needing to administer injectable medicine and watching violent porn to get hard, or witnessing these events unfold and still being down to clown. Reminds me of way back, I used to DJ in a strip club. We had a Christmas party and the one stripper brought her professional fighter boyfriend. Later, she told us that the only way he could get hard for sex is when she wore a strap-on and tucked him up the ass. I saw a documentary of a female porn star who'd been in the industry for years and years. She was incontinent and had to self-catheter to urinate because her pelvic floor was so fucked from the hardcore scenes she did. I had a friend that was in the gay porn industry and he was telling me a lot of the male performers are incontinent due to all the damage they've taken in anal sex scenes. Like 40-year-old men that can't hold anything in. I fully expect to be severely downvoted for this comment, but whatever. Our bodies are just simply not meant for anal sex. Male or female doesn't matter, but the body is just not made for the anus and colon to be able to be used for penetration. The sphincters are damaged by this as are so many other structures. Despite the presence and placement of the prostate, it's just not anatomically meant for this. Moral, ethical, religious, and literally any other reasons aside, physical damage is essentially unavoidable. Whether the receiving person in question is a straight female or a gay male. The structure of the female genitalia is quite different and, well, literally meant for being the receiving partner. It can accommodate length and girth, and, well, take a pounding. Fast, slow, big, small, long, short, it adapts, stretches, contracts, and self-lubricates, in general. And in most cases isn't damaged by repeated use, daily penetration, etc. The same definitely cannot be said for the anus, colon, etc. Don't get me wrong, abuse can certainly damage the female body, unlubricated penetration which is basically going to cause friction burns, tears, and more, or purposeful sexual abuse such as excessively sized objects and more. But there's just no comparison. And the pornography industry has no redeeming qualities whatsoever, causing damage, physical and mental, to performers and watchers alike. Gay men suffer significant trauma and abuse in the industry because consumers demand more and more extreme content. Nearly every gay man in the industry has traumatic health consequences, tops or bottoms. The statistics are staggering. Despite knowing that the pornography industry damages nearly everyone that it touches, what's astounding is that most people will continue to defend it. Sure, women make a large amount of money, and all they have to sell is themselves. And consumers of pornography are damaging themselves through desensitization, unhealthy relationships with sex, and so much more, all while propping up an industry that thrives, literally thrives on exploitation. I don't understand how people can justify this, but can't bear to have other industries on their conscience, whether that's diamonds, cosmetics, certain products, etc. Sigh. Supporting an industry that literally thrives on exploitation and damaging people, grooming teens, the health consequences of anal sex, physical and emotional damage from more and more extreme sex, STDs and more for instance, just doesn't make sense to me. I'm all for people doing whatever they want in their own bedroom as long as they leave others out of it, and follow the one important rule, do no harm. Note that I said harm, not hurt. As an example, a massage may hurt but won't harm. The rule is, nothing that is harmful in any way. Pornography just can't ever achieve this. Can those be treated, I wonder? Poor woman, women! ! There is pelvic floor physical therapy that can help with undertoned or overtoned pelvic floor muscles. But if there is nerve damage, that may not treatable if it doesn't heal on its own. Pelvic floor physio can help to an extent, but not always. There are surgeries. I might be getting one. By the way, I'm not a porn star, just a petite woman who had 3 kids under 5 and very quick births, but that violent, extreme sex is not normal and will absolutely do damage that no amount of pelvic floor exercises can fix. Poor woman.